Where are you watching from, Eagles fans? Let's dive into some intriguing developments surrounding the Philadelphia Eagles that are stirring up conversation across the fan base. As the Eagles navigate the choppy waters of the NFL, one storyline is sneaking under the radar, but deserves our attention. The hiring of 33-year-old offensive coordinator Sean Mannion and the recent trade for Dontavian Wicks. While many are fixated on the uncertain future of superstar A.J. Brown, this hiring speaks volumes about the Eagles' strategic planning and their willingness to shake things up in the offensive department. Mannion's appointment comes on the heels of a disappointing offensive showing in the 2025 season that ultimately cost Kevin Patullo his role as play caller. The Eagles were left scrambling, initially pursuing seasoned coaches like Mike McDaniel and Brian Daboll, both of whom opted for safer bets elsewhere. This search, which expanded to 17 candidates before narrowing down to 7 finalists, suddenly took a turn when Mannion emerged as a contender. At 33, Mannion is an intriguing figure. His background as a former quarterback with deep ties to pro-style offenses, combined with his rapid transition into coaching, makes him an unconventional choice. He was a standout at Oregon State, leaving behind an impressive legacy with multiple Pac-12 records, including over 13,600 career passing yards and 83 touchdown passes. After being drafted in the 3rd round by the St. Louis Rams, Mannion carved out a 9-year NFL career primarily as a backup. His stints with the Rams, Vikings, and Seahawks have provided him with a wealth of knowledge and experience, which he is now ready to pass on to the Eagles offense. Upon retiring in 2023, Mannion was quick to take on a coaching role with the Green Bay Packers, where he quickly ascended to quarterbacks coach. His 2 years in Green Bay, immersed in a Kyle Shanahan-influenced system, prepared him well for the challenge ahead. The Eagles are now looking to implement a similar scheme, one that emphasizes motion, play action, and timing routes, elements that Mannion is well-versed in from both his playing and coaching days. Enter Wicks, who brings his own set of skills from his time with the Packers. The Eagles' front office, led by GM Howie Roseman, clearly believes in the synergy that could develop with Mannion and Wicks. Roseman has openly stated that while Mannion's success is vital, the acquisition of Wicks is primarily about enhancing the team. "We're really selfish," Roseman remarked, highlighting the organization's commitment to building a competitive roster. This brings us to an essential point. While the Eagles are navigating the immediate challenges posed by A.J. Brown's uncertain status, they're also laying the groundwork for a more cohesive offensive unit. The addition of Wicks, who speaks the same football language as Mannion, positions the Eagles to hit the ground running, especially with training camp on the horizon. Eagles fans should be excited yet cautious. Mannion's quick rise in coaching is promising, but he must prove he can adapt and thrive under the bright lights of Philadelphia. The stakes are high, and there is little room for error in a league that demands excellence week in and week out. With the potential of Wicks, the Eagles are not just filling gaps. They're trying to redefine their offensive identity. As we transition to the next topic, it's clear that the Eagles are making bold moves, but how these choices will play out remains to be seen. The pressure is on, and the Eagles must deliver on these investments if they wish to contend in the fiercely competitive NFC landscape. As we dive deeper into the buzz surrounding the upcoming 2026 NFL Draft, set to take place from April 23rd to 25th in Pittsburgh, let's shift our focus to one of the most intriguing prospects on the radar, Carnell Tate. For Philadelphia Eagles fans, the implications of this draft could be monumental as the Eagles look to solidify their roster and maintain their competitive edge. Tate, a 6'2", 192-pound wide receiver, is generating significant hype, with analysts like Todd McShay and Daniel Jeremiah suggesting he could be a top 5 pick. Jeremiah even went so far as to say, "I think he's in play like at 2. I just think there's a lot of Tate supporters out there." It's a sentiment that resonates deeply, especially given Ohio State's rich history of producing elite wide receivers. Tate's college career is impressive, logging 1,872 receiving yards on 121 receptions over 39 games, eclipsing the numbers of fellow Buckeye standout Jackson Smith-Njigba. This kind of production raises eyebrows and begs the question, could he be the WR1 that teams are desperately seeking? The Eagles, with their current roster and quarterback situation, could greatly benefit from a player of Tate's caliber. His combination of size, fluidity, and route running precision suggests he could develop into a primary target for any quarterback. As Steve Munch from The Ringer noted, his combination of size, fluidity, attention to detail as a route runner, and aggressive, strong hands makes him the most complete player in a strong receiver class. Imagine Tate alongside A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, creating a nightmare for opposing defensive coordinators. However, it's not just Philadelphia that's eyeing Tate. Teams like the Tennessee Titans and New York Giants, both with second-year quarterbacks needing a reliable weapon, could swoop in and snag him. This draft class is loaded, and the competition is fierce. The Eagles will need to be strategic, as the potential for Tate to be taken off the board before they pick could leave them scrambling for alternatives. Switching gears, let's talk about defensive prospects. The chatter around the Jets possibly selecting Bailey, a polished pass rusher from Texas Tech, at pick number 2 is raising eyebrows. Bailey tied for the most sacks in the nation last season, showing explosive first-step quickness and a repertoire that could make him an immediate impact player. Meanwhile, Arvell Reese, who is transitioning from off-ball linebacker to edge rusher, presents a contrasting option, one that may require more refinement but holds significant upside. What does this mean for the Eagles? Well, as they look to bolster their defensive line, keeping a close eye on these edge rushers is crucial. The Eagles have a history of making bold moves in the draft, and this year could be no different. If they're able to secure a game-changing pass rusher, it would further solidify their defense, which has been a cornerstone of their recent success. Now, let's discuss the linebackers. Styles, another name being tossed around in mock drafts, is seen as a rare athlete with impressive coverage skills. His physical attributes, 6'5", 244 pounds, and a 4.46 40-yard dash, make him a tantalizing prospect. He could potentially fill a gap for teams looking to upgrade their linebacker core, especially given his background as a safety, which has honed his coverage abilities. For the Eagles, who have had their struggles in the linebacker department, drafting a player like Styles could be the answer to improving their defensive schemes. As Styles continues to rise in the draft rankings, the Eagles must evaluate whether they can afford to pass on a player with such immense potential. Moving on to the cornerback position, German McCoy is also making waves, particularly after bouncing back from an ACL injury. His impressive pro day has teams reassessing their draft boards, and many believe he could even crack the top 10. Although he missed an entire season, his performance in 2024, where he garnered 4 interceptions and earned second-team All-American honors, shows he has the talent to make an impact. For the Eagles, the cornerback position has been a point of concern. With the right coaching and support, McCoy could emerge as a cornerstone of their secondary. But the question remains, will they take the risk on a player with limited college experience? As we look toward the future, it's clear that the upcoming draft holds significant stakes for the Philadelphia Eagles. With potential game-changing talents like Tate, Bailey, Styles, and McCoy on the horizon, the Eagles front office must navigate this landscape with both caution and ambition. Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? And what do you think about the Eagles' draft strategy? Will they secure a standout wide receiver, a polished pass rusher, or a transformative linebacker? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates and discussions surrounding our beloved Philadelphia Eagles. Your voice matters, and together, we'll navigate the excitement of the draft as we look to build a championship-caliber team for the future.